travelers. In this episode, we are in Vancouver, British Columbia, and we are visiting two fusion food spots. The first place we're here at is Yugo.
Yeah, Restaurant Yugo is a French slash Japanese style restaurant. When I found this restaurant online, I thought it was pretty interesting that they would mix the two of our favorite things together, Japanese cuisine and French cuisine. I didn't really know what to expect from this one as we came here for lunch. So what was your first impression, Simon, when we were going to come here?
It was a nice little spot going in. I thought it was a little bit on the dark side. I mean, the weather wasn't too great, so it wasn't great outside, but it was a little dark on the inside. But going through, it was a nice, kind of a modern decor with the Japanese and a little bit of French flair to it. Going through the menu, it's pretty simple. I noticed some things that were kind of that French side. We had the foie gras that was definitely coming from the French side, but I had kind of a little bit of trouble kind of what was the actual fusion. I don't know if you had the same issue as I did when I was kind of going through the menu and when we got the food.
Yeah, I would say I was also unsure what was the fusion parts of the restaurant, because I mean, foie gras in itself could be a Japanese item too. So some of the items that we got here is that foie gras with whiskey sauce on French toast. We got the negi bluefin tuna on French toast, and then we got a couple rolls that were like the wagyu roll, and also is it shrimp roll, Simon? And also a black cod.
Yeah, it was a spicy shrimp. It wasn't very spicy, just a very slight spiciness to it, but a spicy shrimp. So it was kind of tough. Other than the foie gras, which I mentioned earlier is used a lot in French cooking, I really couldn't see the exact kind of mesh. It kind of seemed like they had some Japanese stuff and then some French things, but the fusion part I felt I was missing. Maybe it was just that we ordered the wrong things, but at least from what I saw, that just kind of seemed kind of how it was like.
Yeah, I think maybe some of the other items I remember seeing, I think from the dinner menu, is that they had like smoked duck breast and uni pasta and stuff. So maybe those are the French items that they have there that we didn't get to try. So maybe it's something that we have to just go back for dinner time and just to try those items to see the fusion part of this restaurant.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the food was great overall, and I really did enjoy it. And so definitely maybe coming for dinner, we might have got a different menu, and maybe we could try some new things that kind of fuse things a little bit more than what at least we ordered at the time. Because we did head here for lunch, so they probably have their lunch menu, which is probably different than their dinner menu, and maybe there's a little bit more that they did during the dinner service.
But overall, I did like this restaurant. I think everything tasted pretty good overall. I did really like that foie gras toast and also that wagyu roll that they had there. The black cod itself was pretty good still. I mean, black cod in general, I don't see how any Japanese restaurant can really mess it up too much. Maybe that's too early to say, but in general, it is pretty good.
There's definitely ways that they can mess it up, but in this case, yeah, they prepared all the food very well. The flavors were spot on. They were delicious. Everything was good texture wise. The cod was cooked perfect. Everything was really nice, and so I didn't really have an issue with the food. Just I was kind of looking more, like we mentioned earlier, just trying to get that fusion in there.
Yeah, so maybe next time we can look for that fusion in the dinner menu there. So after we had lunch here at Restaurant Yugo, we kind of went around Vancouver and we went to Broye Café, which is a Vietnamese fusion cafe here.
Yeah, I think the fusion is Vietnamese and
Japanese, I believe.
Japanese?
Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the things I kind of felt unfortunate was that we came here later during the day. It was after lunch, and we kind of had a couple hours to settle in, and we came over here to kind of try some of the cakes and desserts that they have, and those are some of the things that we saw that looked really interesting to us. And also, I really do enjoy Vietnamese coffee, and so it was definitely a place that we wanted to stop by. Unfortunately, as you'll see kind of later in the video, we came a bit, well, I don't say a bit, but a lot too late because they sold out of a majority of their things, and so we were kind of limited in the things that we were able to try. And so as you see the display case, it's pretty empty.
Yeah, and I remember when I was filming this part, the lady kind of looked at me like, why are you filming an empty case? But yeah, like Simon said, if you've never tried Vietnamese coffee, I would definitely recommend something called like their egg yolk coffee. It sounds interesting. It's pretty much like just the egg yolk mixed with condensed milk on top of their Vietnamese coffee, because Vietnamese coffee in itself is pretty bitter. I would say in comparison to other espresso coffees that you might get at like say Starbucks or other coffee shops there. So the condensed milk mixed with the egg yolk kind of makes it a little bit more creamy, a little bit sweeter in that way.
And so the pastries we ended up getting was, you saw there was a Yoda one, and this is a Hello Kitty, which I had. It was a strawberry yuzu Hello Kitty. Going through, like, yeah, I enjoyed it. I couldn't really tell in terms. I knew there was some mochi into it, but the strawberry yuzu, wasn't as predominant as I would think it would be. It tasted great, but I really couldn't tell the flavors that great. What about you?
Yeah, I also could not taste the actual filling of it. I didn't know what was the yuzu strawberry portion of this mochi. But it's definitely different from like your normal breads, where it does really have that mochi texture to it. So that was nice. I really enjoyed that. I think if we came here earlier in the day when everything was freshly baked, maybe we would have a different experience and everything would taste a lot better, or more strong in terms of the flavoring profile. But yeah, I guess it's maybe because we came here late. I would say it wasn't as good as it probably could have been.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is kind of on our part, as they were. Seems like they were kind of wrapping up in terms of all the desserts and bakery items, and so definitely we need to plan to come here a little bit earlier before the cases get empty, and kind of go through all the different choices that they offer. But from the things I've seen, and especially with their Instagram pages and everything else, there's a lot of pictures, at least really beautiful pictures, that people post up of all the items that they serve.
Yeah, I think it was really cool to see that they can actually make these mochi breads in these different type of shapes.
Yeah, but overall it was a great place, and definitely for both fusion restaurants we would like to try again, and kind of try some other items on the menu to kind of see if we can get more of that fusion in there, give a better chance, since we might have come at wrong time. And to wrap up the episode are our notables, and unfortunately for this episode we did not have any notables.
And to support our channel, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for the YouTube algorithm. And for more photos, follow us on Instagram. See you guys on the next episode.